Hello again, welcome to scene 5. In this scene we'll be playing as Galeb, Emem and Leysha all together, much like we did in scene 1. So Galeb's up first for upgrading his skills. So we have 225 experience points to spend. If you don't have that many, then either you fail to earn the full set in scene 2, or you spent more than you were supposed to in scene 1 when it came to Galeb. So let's increment mental by 2, which brings it to level 3. Let's increment rhetoric by 1, which brings it to level 3. Psychology will increment by 2, bringing it to level 3 as well. And then moving over to disciplines, excuse me, we will want to upgrade fortitude to level 2. This costs only 5 XP because we had a certain resonance that put a discount on it from scene 2. So with all that, you should only have 20 experience points left remaining to spend, and we'll spend them later. So let's get started. You'll be in conversation with Zhu Feng, so tell her I'm not interested. Answer honestly. And I'm going to talk to Beryl about this. Cool. Right, so you'll remember that in scene 1, when we were here last time, there were 2 alcoves here, and we went into them, we registered, it counted as the safe zones that we need to discover for the Meet Me There achievement. Well, since it's a new scene, they count as new safe zones, so let's head into one. So that's this alcove. Now the one immediately opposite, the curtains have been drawn, so we can't go into there, but we can go over here to this alcove, and that is both safe zones for Galeb. As you come out of that second alcove, go to the nearest edge of the bar, and you'll find at the corner is a coin that you can take, so make sure to grab that. So head out of this bar into the rotunda. As you approach the elevator, Galeb will ponder his choices, since he can either confront Beryl, or he can take up a mission by Caius, but he cannot do both. Now we're going to head to the security floor as if we were going to help Caius, but it's important that you never speak to Caius. We don't actually want to take up his mission, but we do want to do a few things down here before we take on Beryl. So there's Caius. Make sure you do not speak to Caius. However, Caius doesn't seem very bright because in his office, in scene 1, we stole a coin from him. We still have that key, so we can open up that cabinet again. And he's put the coin back there, so even though he knows someone is able to steal from him directly, he still places items in the same location. So we'll steal that. So that's cool. For us, anyway. Head down the stairs near the server room, and there are 2 interrogation cells. I don't think it matters so much which order you take, but I always go right first. Speak to Jason. So Jason will only be here if you took him to the prince at the end of scene 2. If he's not here, then you've failed to do that bit. You want to say she could still be alive. You want to say I'm sorry. Well, that was awkward. So now that's Jason done, you want to head into the other interrogation room where his assistant is. You want to say about the party last night. You want to use the psychology option, which is calm him down. There's a good chance you'll succeed, but it's absolutely okay if you fail. So I've succeeded, but if you failed, then that's fine. You can continue on. Ask him about details about the attack. and then that will be all. Cool. Let me just double check something here. Yeah, cool. Right, so we're basically done here, right? So you want to head back up the stairs and back to the elevator. Take it to the council's quarters, floor number 1. Cool. You want to head into the right-hand corridor, which is the red one, and then take the first door to your right. Now, it's really important that when you go into this room that you do not approach Beryl. If you go beyond a certain threshold towards him, you are automatically captured in conversation. But the best outcome is to first look over here. So you see there's a wine glass, a magazine, and another wine glass. If you activate Auspex Vision on the wine glass closest to you, sense the aura, and then examine it. And Galeb will say, Feng used this glass. He's able to recognize that her scent or something about it relates to her, right? So, perfect. Once you've done that, and only once you've done that, head over to Beryl. You want to select Don't Say Anything. And then you want to confront Beryl. So this is the left-hand option. This starts a confrontation, and you want to say, I know he saw her here. This is only available if you first examine the wine glass, like with the scent around it and stuff. If you just examine it as is, it won't count. So the second option is let me worry about her. For the third stage, you want to select defend, which is a psychology choice. You want to focus it at 6 willpower. So there's a 97% chance you'll succeed, but there's also a 20% chance that he will focus his own ability. So there is a good chance that you might fail here. If you do, immediately pause, go to the main menu, continue back to the start of this conversation. But let's see how we get on. Right, so he's focusing. Will we succeed? Let's have a look. No, so we failed, and that's fine. So let's put that into practice. So I immediately paused, go to the main menu, and continue back into that scene. So we're right at the start, which is not bad. It beats starting the scene all over again, or God forbid, having to start a new game. So the options again were don't say anything. Let me just double check that was the option. Yep, don't say anything. Then you want to confront Beryl. I know he saw her here. Let me worry about her. And so here we go. Here's the psychology option that we want to focus at 6 willpower. Let's see if we succeed this time. Yes, cool, perfect. So we can continue on. And then you want to say he's being disloyal. And then, so this rhetoric option, what you want to do with this is focus it at 6 willpower, but before you select it, press LT to open you see this panel on the left hand side, and press A to activate Walls of the Mind. So our skill level for this is 5, since we focused it, and his is 4, so it won't immediately tie. But if he happens to focus, which there is a 20% chance of him doing so, it boosts our chance to win by 50%, so that's quite nice. So with that still active, you should see it still, even when I close that little pop-up using LT, it's still coloured in, right? So make sure this is focused at 6. The rhetoric option, which is, it would not be in his interest for this to get out. So he didn't even focus his talent anyway, so that's fine. I just pretty much won straight away. And that wins us the confrontation. Select leave. Cool, we get ejected from his office. We got a dialogue reward of +5 willpower, that's pretty nice. And we've got 2 hunger, but if you happen to use Walls of the Mind just then, it took effect because he focused his skill, you'll be at 4 hunger. So what we should do is, since we're here, go to the floor beneath you. You can either take that elevator or the stairs through that doorway there. Either doesn't matter. But if you go to the floor below you, we'll return back to that bar and we'll feed upon one of the humans there. So the bar is this way. So there are, let's see, there's 2 human prey here. You want specifically this woman who's leaning on the bar at the edge of it, not the man, the woman here. So if you've got 2 hunger, eliminate 2 hunger. If you've got 4 hunger, eliminate 4 hunger. If you have started the process and you can't remember how much you've got, just eliminate 4 to be sure. Cool. So we're pretty much done with Galeb now. So if you return him to the rotunda, go to the elevator, and you want to take this up to the top floor, which is the prince's office. Head through to the other side of this funky looking column, talk to the servant. They'll just confirm that you want to see the prince. It's a point of no return, so hold down the A button. You'll talk to the prince and her chief, Delsin. You want to defend him. That gives you a trait of compassionate. That'll be useful later as it boosts our success rate in psychology. And then you want to select Beryl's playing a dangerous game. You want to go, don't defend yourself, and even though that isn't tied to rhetoric, since it's this binary persuasion rhetoric attempt, it still counts as rhetoric on your talent meter. Excuse me. So select don't defend yourself. Don't say anything. Sorry, I imagine my accent's probably coming through when I say anything rather than anything. Go on. The abandoned island. Very well. Very well. What next? And lastly, I've heard enough. And that's it for Galeb in Scene 5, so you should have the one trait and a reward of 230 experience points. If you have less than that, look through the success list as you see it on the screen, and if you're missing any of those, then you can figure out where you've gone wrong. And your resonance bonus should be Dominate. So let's continue. Next up, we play as Emem, and we'll have 300 experience points to spend now. So put 2 into Social, which brings it to level 3. Put 2 into Persuasion, which brings it to level 3. Moving over to Disciplines, upgrade Presence to level 2. That should have a 20 discount on it, thanks to the resonance we acquired for her in Scene 1. So your grand total it should be 135 left remaining, and we can spend that later. So, last time we were with Emem, she failed her mission, so the prince has given her a bit of a telling off. Don't say anything. Let's get on with this. And what's next? You won't be able to proceed far before you get accosted by Hilda in conversation. So you'll end up in the bar automatically. You want to say, I pissed her off. What has she got against the prince? Now this is a psychology check, but it's absolutely okay if you fail it, as I have. I need to talk to her about the memories I saw. So these are the memories that we experienced in Emem's previous scene. So if something's missing from this list, it's because you haven't experienced that memory in Scene 4, whichever was the last scene with Emem. So we want to go through each of these. So I've started with my attack. Next up is my trial. This will have a little side option, which is I want to apologize. My embrace. And our escape to London. And that's it. For going through all those, you get a new trait, which is get it off your chest. That makes the next upgrade of the social attribute cheaper by 20 points. So that's nice. Say, I've got to leave. And then do not defend yourself, although that will still count as a persuasion use without a willpower cost. Cool. So Hilda will move over to the bar. She'll set down her keys to the left of her. Now you can't grab them just on the regular. What you have to do instead is activate your celerity, and then you can interact with the keys, which has this option now. So only with celerity activated can you then snatch them. Nice. And if you remember, we visited the alcoves here as Galeb, so we're going to do that again as Emem. You have to revisit these again right now for them to count towards the 24 overall safe zones. So make sure you do both of those. If you head into the rotunda, you'll see a tense standoff between Beryl and Zoo. Wait for them to finish talking, and then we'll talk to Zoo. If you happen to get distracted or anything, Zoo will eventually walk over to the bar. So, you know, if you get up to go to the toilet or get a drink or whatever and you come back, she's not here, just head into the bar. She's somewhere in there. Or I think rather, she goes into that room over there. It's one of the two. But she's certainly on this floor, this area. Oh, Beryl is glitched. Um, he's supposed to just walk away, but instead he is doing impromptu paperwork. What can I say? I told you this game, man. It's wonky. So you want to say how is she taking things? This is a psychology use, but we don't care if it succeeds. It's absolutely okay to fail. It's just so we can increment the talent bar, so you can see there talent gain Puppet Master. That just means we've reached the next milestone reward. So if I look at talents now for Puppet Master, you can see it's lit up for a 30-point discount to the next upgrade cost of psychology. So that's cool. That's all we really wanted to talk to Zoo for. You have to say she looks suspicious, which rude, but say that, and then I'm going to leave. Cool. Um, yeah. Head over to the offices. Much like how Caius hasn't learned from previous mistakes, neither two are the vampires in charge of this archives area, because where we raided their vault in scene 1, we can do so again, taking the club business card that is hidden there. And similarly, in this specific transparent office, we can take another one. I guess vampires never learn. So now we want to go upstairs. You can take the elevator that we've been using quite a bit, or you can take the stairs that are just near April's office. Either's fine. And then up here, we want to go to Hilda's apartment, which is this way. So it's the red corridor. There's a sign outside of her door in case you get lost. It's this one. So use the key, head in. Now, if you played the developer's previous game, The Council, which I've also done a walkthrough for, and it's basically the same game but not with vampires, it's probably a superior game, especially since it's not as broke. Well, if you play that game, you might recognize that face on the leftmost canvas as being Louis de Vouchet, the protagonist of that game. I thought that was pretty neat. So now, you see how Hilda signs her paintings, but the H of Hilda is more like a backwards N. Well, keep that in mind. It's here as well for reference. It's the same sort of sigil. It's a backwards N. It kind of looks like an Old Norse rune. But we want to know that because in her bedroom, you can open her desk drawer, you can consult her phone, and then, let me just double check this. You want to start from the top left dot. Okay, so here, work down and make that same sigil sign, this backwards N. There's only one chat here, you can't cycle through different chats, so back out, that's fine. And that's it for this floor. We need to make our way back down now, so you can take the elevator or the stairs. I guess I'll just take the elevator, it's closest. Take that to the ground floor. And now what we want to do is head to April's office. So if you remember, we came over here to collect a few items. We want to head to the very end, which is April's very brutalist office. And to the left as you enter, she's got her own private elevator that goes directly to the prince's apartment. So call that, hop inside, which is a point of no return. So make sure you've done everything you needed to here. To your right on this table is a club business card to take, so grab that. Head up the steps. into the bedroom and talk to the person here. This person is Miley, the prince's child. She will only be here, at least alive, if Leysha successfully chose the KI2 container at the end of scene 3. If you fail to do that, she will just not be here, I don't think. And you want to select Hazel Sent Me, and you want to be successful in this, so focus it at 6 willpower. You must succeed. Cool. Again, if you didn't, main menu, come back in. You know the drill. That will get you the Childer United trait. That's a +10 success rate in persuasion. There it is. Nice. And then if you head to the back of the bed, just here is a little golden swan figurine. Grab that. Come back into the main area. There's a stone swan statue here with a little slot in front. Place the stone swan, like the smaller one there. A key will pop out the side. Grab that. This unlocks the glass case over these books. And then once you have access to these books, you want to pull them in a particular order. So we're going to start with B, F, D, A, C. If you screw that up, it's fine. Just start over again. Not the scene, just the order in which you push those books. And now you'll have a new interaction point just below them that says open. It brings out this tray. Inspect them and read each of the 3 documents that are here. Cool. All right, that's everything for the prince's apartment. Head back to the elevator that we took to get up here. If you leave it, you'll be prompted again to leave. It's this time a point of no return, so hold A to confirm. So for Emem's scene summary, you should have 2 traits, and you should have 140 experience in reward. If you don't, check those 3 success bullet points, see what you're missing, and you'll have to redo that again. Okay, so continue on now. We're going to be playing as Leysha. Don't bother upgrading any of her skills, but her disciplines upgrade Dominate by 1, so to level 2. That's a 20-point discount thanks to the resonance we obtained for her in scene 3. So you'll have 210 experience points remaining. Even though we don't use Dominate in this particular scene for Leysha, it's important to use the resonant discounts as they come up, because the game can get a bit weird, and I think it kind of forgets which resonant discount you have if you don't use it at the next point. It's just a lot of jank, right? I think it's a good game overall, but it certainly needed more care. So it's best just to use the resonance discounts as they come up. So yeah, you can't skip this premonition scene. Take the Polaroid from, not the bag, but from this little desk. And that's really all you really need to do here. So talk to Halsey, which is a part of no return. Now, be aware, I'm not sure if it happens for Xbox Series X and S, but on an Xbox One, I found that this specific conversation can crash the game. In fact, it's an error I've never seen before. Like the operating system of the Xbox says like a graphics error. I have never seen that in all the years I've been playing Xbox games. But if you do experience that, unfortunately, the game will crash. Load it back up. Eventually, it will work. It's not a crash that is persistent. It's only occasional. So with Richard, you want to say there's a good reason to be afraid, and then let's move on. We'll then talk to the prince. Say, trust her. Tell her about Halsey's vision and get this over with. After that, you'll be in a decision point. You want to select the left option, which is take the treatment. This will also give you a trait of moving on, which is a 30-point discount to the next upgrade of the social attribute. Okie dokes, and then this is the last scene summary. This is Leysha's scene summary for Chapter 5. So you should have one trait, 2 success items, the second of which is a resonance bonus for Auspex, and a reward of 150 experience points. Cool. So use the excuse me, use the duplicating save trick that we've used previously. You can either continue on to the next scene, which is scene 6 with Galeb at Long Island, and once that starts, you can exit to the main menu, level select to scene 6 on a different save slot. Thereby, you've got a duplicate, or you can head to the main menu now and create a duplicate that way. But yeah, select scene 6 with Galeb, and I'll see you then.